Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another review. There's another paid request, this time from Lutis. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting pretty much any type of videos or anything in between, topics, reactions, re-reviews, rankings, lists, whatever, pretty much anything, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And this is for Wallace and Gromit, The Curse of the Were-Rabbit that came out around 2005. I think it might have won the Oscar for Best Animated Film. I believe that's the case. I could be wrong. But it's from the makers of Chicken Run, which I had a review up, but then because I put the TV spot, it got blocked, and then I couldn't do anything about it, so now it's gone. So, again, that's YouTube. It'll be fine for a while, and then out of the blue, no, it's blocked, just because. I'm like, I couldn't save the review, so that's why I don't put a lot of clips of my videos now, because they'll be uploaded fine, or pretty fine, and then 3 months, we'll just change our mind. But anyway, this is from the makers of Chicken Run, and I believe it's the film they did after Chicken Run. Now, Wallace and Gromit, I did not grow up with those characters. Wallace is a clumsy inventor that loves cheese and has a pest industry, but doesn't use lethal force. He catches bunnies that will go after vegetation and gardens, and he does it with his smart, loyal, silent dog, Gromit. I thought they were likable characters. I love the animation style of claymation because I just think it's a really cool aesthetic look to it, because it's animation, but because it's clay, there's a physical texture to it in the scenes. It just makes it a bit more alive in a weird way because of that. Because, again, even though it's acting like a cartoon, it's physical stuff being manipulated. You know, it's like I love Robot Chicken, the cartoon show. I'm on other films that have done that. And they seem like likable characters, especially Gromit. I like that they don't give a voice to the dog. That actually made it a bit more endearing, because he had to use his reactions of physicality, his eyes, in order to display that character as well as they could. And was a very, again, likable, loyal character to the Wallace character. And Wallace kind of had these inventions, like he was Doc Brown from Back to the Future, or other movies have dealt with inventors. Like how he gets out of bed, he slides out of bed, get dressed, ready for work. And the claymation also really helps in the bits of action sequences, where they can show a bit of there's a nice display of the emotion in these chase scenes. For example, when they have to save this big from this hungry rabbit, and Grom is being dragged around, or later on when Gromit takes this toy airplane from a carnival, and then this other dog takes a plane, and they're both driving it and flying around, and they're on sides of buildings. And I mean, the fact that they did this all for real, as in have to physically do each moment, you just almost subconsciously see the painstaking detail that went into that, and it's rather impressive. Now, the actual story is that Wallace is trying to find a way to stop the rabbits from even thinking about vegetation. Because, like I said, they're non-lethal, so when they get the pests, they have these cages in their basement, and it's overloading the house. They don't know what to do next. So again, if they can find a way where they don't want vegetation at all, their job will be much easier. So they have this, Wallace has this brain alteration thing. He tries it on. Of course, things go haywire. And one thing leads to another, and there's a big rabbit monster going abound, eating all the vegetation up. And it's trying to be a little bit of an ode to Hammer horror films, It's definitely a film worth a watch in the Halloween season. You get some nice POV in certain sequences. I didn't. I really do appreciate the animation. Like, there's a scene where Gromit is chasing this big thing. You can't quite see it yet, but he lassos it, and it drags him and the vehicle he's in underground. As he's underground, all this dirt is flying around as Gromit is trying to do his best to stop this situation from getting worse. Now, there are a couple other familiar voices. There's this Lord Ladyship, who her and Wallace kind of develop a little bit of a romance going on, possibly. And she's actually voiced by Helena Bonham Carter, who was with Tim Burton for a bit. She was in Sweeney Todd. She was in the Planet of the Apes remake. Sorry, my nose is itching. She was in the, like I said, Planet of the Apes remake and Sweeney Todd, among others. And then this guy who's pretty much our villain, who wants Lord Ladyship's hand in marriage, is voiced by Ray Fiennes, who's been in quite a few other stuff. And it's a very short film. It's only 80 some minutes long. I would say I wouldn't say it's unpredictable. I mean, the title kind of tells you where this is going. I mean, Where Rabbit, but kind of tells you, because like when a certain surprise twist happens, it really wasn't that surprising to me. I was kind of waiting for it to happen, and I thought, okay, it's just a natural progression of that. But it didn't really affect the movie. Although I will admit there's an addition to that which I didn't think about. I thought was actually a pretty humorous addition. Spoilers, I'll spoil it. Because this brain alteration device, it was him, this rabbit, when things are going up shit creek, part of me thinking, yeah, Wallace is going to turn into a monster, like a werewolf, only it's a rabbit. And that becomes the case. Because you think it's one thing, and Gromit realizes there's something else going on. And so that was really a big surprise. But the addition that was a bit interesting is that just like Wallace will turn into this monster, the rabbit will turn into Wallace. So you have this rabbit creature that talks and acts like Wallace. And I thought that was kind of a fun addition that in its weird sci-fi way, it made sense. They kind of reverse. But it's not something I just thought of. I guess I don't know why I didn't see that coming. I just didn't. But I thought it was again, that was a fun little bit. And there's some nice bits of mood. And like I said, it's a nice ode to Hammer horror films. Like there's a point where they're out in the woods and Wallace changes in front of Gromit and Ray Fiennes' character. And you get some nice effects about how it changes slowly and then how big it gets. And at times there's a little bit of nice heart to it. You really get the case of these two characters caring for each other by the end as they save each other from certain dire straits. And it's a movie that's very harmless for kids. There's no... I did not remember any fart jokes or any of those type of stuff. I mean, there's nothing edgy about it. The edgiest it gets is so when this big monster's around, Wallace comes up with the idea of this fake lady bunny, and in the truck Gromit is tied like a puppet to move, and then a device that makes it wink and kick its legs up to entice. That's as far as it goes. like I said, it's very easy for a kid to watch without the parent having to explain certain things. Again, there's no... It didn't feel juvenile. It didn't feel like I was cringing on watching it. And like I said, I'm a sucker for that type of animation, so it was fun to watch. And like I said, it's a pretty short movie. It's like an hour and 20 some minutes, if that. And did Gromit, the fact that his character doesn't talk as a dog, it made it more endearing. I guess if he did talk, it could maybe work, but again, just that way, it makes you think a little bit more as to what he's thinking, what he's going to do next, and just the creativity of how they made Gromit as a character without the use of a voice. I thought they did that rather well. But again, this is based on a show that I didn't watch much of. And yeah, for what it is as a kid's film, it didn't treat me like an idiot. It didn't treat me like a moron. I didn't cringeworthy fucking, Joel Sawbound. And it kept at a good pace, and it was a bit of a little bit of a charming movie. So I did not mind it at all. I know it's not much of a review, but it's a pretty straightforward flick, and like I said, it's worth a watch if you like that type of animation, or if you grew up with the Wallace and Gromit characters, even if you didn't. Like I said, if you're a father that has a kid, or you're someone that has a little brother or a cousin, and again, you want to show them something that has no politics, no BS, and is perfectly fine for an adult to watch without being like, oh my god, make your fucking ears bleed. This is more than capable of fulfilling that niche for you and your kid to watch during the Halloween season. You can also watch, Ernest Dear Stupid. That's a fun one. I mean, there are other kids horror. I wouldn't call horror, but for the Halloween season to watch with the kids, there's definitely a number of movies to watch and check out. But again, if you want something that has nothing noteworthy that's gonna scare or harm kids, this is definitely up your alley. So, with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye bye.